So, another TWAB has finally come to us, and we're finally getting a little bit more news about stuff that's changing with Witch Queen. So, basically just jumping into some of the changes that they have not already shown. Basically, they tell us there is a little bit of a trailer for Savathun's Throne World. If you want to take a peek at the new zones we'll be traversing in a bit, which doesn't really include Mars or any alternative destinations that will be returning, but it definitely includes her Throne World. And aside from that, one big hit is basically, they talk about how artifact mods are a little bit limited, and so this means that players could, well, starting in Season 16, which players will no longer be limited to the number of artifact mods they can unlock. That means that players could feasibly unlock all 25 artifact mods by the end of the season, while we have made some small adjustments to the amount of XP required to unlock artifact mods in general, or artifact mods 1 to 12 in general. The pace of unlocking these first 12 artifacts should be close to what we've seen in Season 15 artifact. For each unlock after the 12th, increased XP will be required for the next artifact mod unlocked. So the choice of which order to unlock mods still requires some decision makings, and if you change your mind, you can still reset your artifact and make your picks again. But if you play this game enough and get to somewhere like me, where I'm at rank 300 in the season, we still have another month to go, guess what? It'll be super easy. You don't need to pick and choose what artifact mods you get anymore. You will be able to unlock all 25, repeat all 25 of the artifact mods by the end of the season, or by whatever time you decide you think is good enough. So you don't have to worry about picking one thing or resetting to make one build work. You can just have all 25 at one time. Now, I also talk about artifact mods themselves. We're bringing back a few personal anti-champion mods, including anti-barrier scout and bow. And we've done some work to make disrupting overload champion, which can be done, I suppose they're talking about next season, with auto rifles and SMG more reliable than previous seasons. We're also highlighting the new glaive weapon archetype coming in the Witch Queen through a variety of artifact mods, including an option to make your glaive solution to unstoppable champion. So basically the glaive will possibly be, well, not even, they will be unstoppable glaives. So, that being said, they also took a little bit of look at masterworking armor. This is one of the big things. Starting with the launch of Witch Queen, you can change the energy type of a fully masterwork piece of armor for a much reduced cost. Now I'm going to show you a screenshot on screen. To change a masterwork exotic, you have to swap out all of those resources, which includes 3 Ascendant Shards. But now, they tell us that a fully masterwork piece of legendary armor can be changed to another energy type, so this makes building a little easier and not require you to have one set of armor for every element. Basically, you can change it to another energy type for the cost of 10,000 glimmer and 1 upgrade module to change fully masterwork legendary gear, and while a fully masterwork piece of exotic armor can be changed to another energy type for the cost of 20,000 glimmer and 1 upgrade module. You see all of these requirements right here? Get rid of them. You won't need them anymore. 1 upgrade module and a bit of glimmer. That is all you will need to change this exotic pair of gear from fully masterworked in one element to fully masterworked in another. Some of you might have good rolls of others that are perfect for what element. It doesn't matter. Who cares? If you got one that you want to change your element, you already masterworked it, guess what? You can do it like that. Now, closing out, they're also talking about how creating orbs of power will change, because elements of the new weapon crafting system will encourage you to use many different weapons and ask you to burn hard-earned masterwork materials on a weapon that you may be using for just a few hours, just to generate orbs. That seems like a small order. That, combined with our desire to act on consistent feedback that players want to be able to generate orbs of power with exotic weapons and not yet have catalysts, leads to the implementation they are generating. Orb generation on weapon multi-kills will no longer be a function of a weapon's masterwork. So, when you masterwork that legendary, you will no longer make multiple orbs on kill just because your gun is masterwork. Now, orb generation on weapon multi-kills, instead be provided by a suite of armor mods, which are unlocked automatically for all players and which plug into helmet armor mod sockets. Each such mod will apply the orb generation effect to all weapons you have equipped of a particular damage type. So a single mod will cover multiple weapons in your arsenal if they share a damage type. This also applies to weapon change damage types like hard, light, or kinetic weapons with osmosis. And they will continue to create exotic catalysts over the next few seasons, but in the meantime you'll be able to generate orbs with Cloud Strike, Thorn, Thunderlord, Taraba, and any other weapon in the game, as long as you have the required armor mods. Now, touching on some more details. Now, for some reason people seem to also be panicking and not paying attention to social media feeds regarding these two. 30th anniversary will not be disappearing with the launch of Witch Queen. I will say, this Xur-led adventure through 2022 So you don't have to worry about grinding that out before Witch Queen. You don't need to get the rock now. It just saves you an issue of getting it when you have other things to do. Now, of course, another Prime Gaming drop, another exotic emote, exotic ghost shell, an exotic fork sparrow, which I feel like I recognize, but I also don't, and of course a legendary ship, but it's pretty bland, so don't even bother. Now, there is, of course, issues, colorblind modes, investigating issues hard to distinguish across multiple colorblind modes, Steam negative silver balances. Some people have negative balances of Steam or silver on Steam. And of course, there are some hotfix resolved issues. Basically, this week's hotfix released in the world, they resolved several issues, including the Xenology quest from Zurich cannot be recovered if accidentally deleted. Challenges proving 5 now successfully unlocks after players complete challenges proving 4. Issues with Twitch extensions. Now, the Destiny 2 Twitch extension bounties, this stuff. I don't know exactly. And there are a few known issues. They are currently investigating an increase in marmot errors, investigating reports that the Wicked Overgrowth shader didn't unlock in collections for some players after the 3.4.0.2 fix. And per the usual, for a full list of emergent issues, consult the help forums. Now, I also want to cover one more thing regarding Bungie. There was a patch that went out today. It's mainly about the Save the Blueberries thing. They fixed some issues with Crucible and other things. Iron Banner Freelance mode now displays longer respawn time. Something about Super not being restored when capturing zones as well. Fixed a lot of issues with Dares in Eternity, where it could be auto-launched into Dares before acquiring a heavy weapon. It is now set to 1100, so any brand new players will automatically be in there. Additional physics objects are cleaned up between rounds to prevent objects or prevent crashes during long Dare sessions. And fixed an issue where rewards level, platinum, etc. would be displayed at the end of the activity in regular difficulty, even though there's not really anything going on there. Now, of course, Presage, the exotic mission, basically they made it easier to interact with the data pads related to some of the collectibles on the Glycon. In addition, they made it so that the Lord tab lockout is only applied by completion and not by completion per week. So now if you were missing, say, 5 weeks worth of Presage things, which you might not be able to claim by now because there's not 5 weeks left of the season before it goes away. Now, if you just want to do 5 Presage missions right in the middle of each other or back to back, you can claim all the lore tabs related to completing it. Now, Progress basically fixed out of map glitches and that sort of thing. Lost Sectors fixed an issue where Champions of Chamber Starlight were not counting towards the end, allowing people to skip them and still achieve Platinum. Public Events fixed an issue where on the longer generation supers, a rally flag would not fully fill their super. And for various UI issues, fixed colorblind modes, default colors to make it easier to distinguish between combatant health bars. An issue where some emblems were not displaying properly, and fixed an issue where emblems were not displaying correct art. Now, for gameplay and investment, fixed an issue where the Icefall Mantle could be activated immediately after Glacial Guard fell off the Titan. And for weapons, fixed or added guaranteed drops of Dreaming City weapons after completing the Blind Well event. I assume they added more, just because I thought they already did. Fixed an issue where Forerunner's Catalyst was missing a descriptive string when viewed in the Exotic Catalyst menu. Yeah, it didn't have anything in there. It just said nothing. Fixed an issue where Forerunner would spawn with 11 ammo in PvP when running Sidearm Reserve mods. They now have been re-enabled, so if for some reason you realize there wasn't Sidearm Reserves in your inventory anymore, they are back. They were disabled, so you can now use them. Fixed an issue where the Poison Wing spread ornament for Le Monarch had an arrow permanently knocked when stowed, I assume on your back. And fixed an issue where the Braytech M6 ornament for Forerunner caused the weapon's reticle to shrink when aiming down sights. By the way, you're welcome. I actually made a forum post about this, so this could have been a fix brought to you by Scorpion. Some people, for some reason, didn't think that was accurate. Now, accessories as well fixed an issue with the Grey Hornet Sparrow's left pipe not firing. Abilities fixed an issue where the Shadow Shot and Silence and Skull supers were not in the correct passive cooldown tiers. Fixed an issue where Shadow Dive was costing melee charge after shattering a stasis crystal. Fixed an issue where Frontal Assault was activating when player attacked dead objects. Bounties and Pursuits fixed an issue where weekly Star Horse bounties could only be completed on one character. Oh, so that was an issue. Okay, so now they can be done on all characters. Fixed an issue that could lead to players being unable to obtain the Magnum Opus 2 quest from Zur even after meeting correct conditions. And for general, fixed an issue where certain Sparrow engine effects would fail to play. Fixed an issue where the emblem, the Metal of the Flow, cannot be reclaimed. Fixed an issue where the item representing the Moments of Triumph t-shirt could never be discarded. Okay, so if you have been wondering why the t-shirt code couldn't have been discarded even if you had bought it, now you can. So, there you go. Players who previously completed the Twitch gift subscriptions bounty and did not receive the Watcher shader can now claim it from Amanda Holiday in the tower. The emblem Disigist, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is earned by completing Twitch Grit subscription bounties, can now be collected for players who have unlocked it. Fixed an issue causing the perks of Banshee 44's legendary weapons to re-roll on Wednesdays after the weekly reset. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. It seemed like every weapon that I reviewed in my reset videos had always changed within 2 days. So, that's changed. Fixed Overgrowth, or Wicked Overgrowth shader now displays properly in collections when acquired. Fixed an issue on the roster that could cause Destiny 2 to close in circumstances where many friends or clanmates cycled online states in a short window of time. The fix for this issue may introduce a minor performance hit for players with many friends or clanmates. The team is already working on a fix to improve said performance hit. So that is the TWAB, all the important news regarding that, because everything else in the TWAB was all just art of the week and the usual bleh. So, we are getting easier Masterwork energy swaps. Masterwork orbs will not be generated anymore just by the weapon, as well as artifact mods being completely obtainable from all the mods. You don't need to be picky about which 12 mods you get. You can be a little bit selective just to be smart off the bat, but then if you play long enough, you will just have all of them anyways. You don't need to be as picky as before. That being said, my name is Matt Scorpion. This has been the TWAB update as well as a hotfix update, and I will see you in the next video.